Hey everybody, this is Paul. Welcome back as we continue to write the remove item function for our hash table project. So we just finished writing the code for case 0 where the bucket that we're looking into is empty. So now let's look at case 1. So case 1 would be the case where there's only one item contained in the bucket that we're looking into, and that item has a matching name. So to look for that case, we're going to do an if statement, and actually we should do an else if statement because we only want this to execute if this if statement up here did not execute. And so we're going to do else if, and then we'll say hash table, and then index stores the bucket number that we need to look into. So we'll look into that bucket, and then we're just going to go ahead and look at the name inside that very first item in that bucket, and we're going to check to see if that name is equal to the name that we pass into our remove item function. So this name right here is the name we pass into our remove item function. This name right here is the name contained inside of that very first item inside the bucket that we're looking into. So if the name inside our item matches the name we're looking for, that's one condition, so that would be a match in the very first item. And the second condition we want to meet for case 1 is we want to make sure that there is only one item in the bucket we're looking into. So to do that, we're just going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and copy all this stuff right here, and we'll paste it over here. So we're going to be looking at that very first item once again, but this time we want to see what's next. So we'll just go ahead and type next there, and we want to check to see if the next item is actually nothing, is null. So this is saying that if we look inside of our hash table in the bucket that is stored in the index variable, and if the name in that bucket matches the name we're looking for, and then also if the next item is really nothing, so basically this part is saying if we only have one item in the bucket, then we have met the conditions for case 1. There's only one item contained in the bucket, and that bucket has a matching name. So let's go ahead and we'll write some logic for this case right here. So to take care of this case, we're not going to delete the item, but we're just going to go ahead and set its name and drink variables back to this default empty, denoting that we have no information inside of that bucket. So to do that, we'll just say hash table, and we want the bucket that is stored in the index variable, and then we just go ahead and say name, and we'll set that equal to the string empty. And then we'll do a similar thing for the drink variable inside of that first item as well. So we'll just go ahead and copy this, and then we'll go ahead and paste it, and then we'll just change this to drink. And so we didn't really remove an item in this case. We still have just that one item in this bucket here, and then we just change its name and drink value to the default string empty that lets us know that there's not really any information being stored in this bucket. This is consistent with case 0 now because we've already checked that this is the only item contained in the bucket. So this takes us back to our default value, and so this should work for our program. So in the next tutorial, I'll go ahead and look at case 2, and we'll go ahead and write some code for that. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe.